That's a great thing. Now, this is my favorite round. I love this one. What happened in Paris, man? Because I wasn't there. They saw you hit nigga over here with your camera.
Yeah.
Dame did something the pimps ain't like.
I'm gonna tell you the true
and
story.
They said Dame washed the first one up.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
Gary always talk about Dame got hands.
Yeah, he got hands.
Gary always say
Dame
got hands.
Yo,
he's nice.
I'm saying Dame Mop is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but if you step to him, you can step to him. But no, if your shit not ready, he gonna wash you. Dame can fight. He's strong. That's my yo. They ain't got nothing to do with that. Ron tell you that.
Yeah, you always say you got hands.
Now Johnny, they say you hit nigga in with a camera. You don't play no game.
Yeah, I hit the nigga hard. My camera broke. My camera broke.
Did they buy that camera back?
Yeah.
Who bought Dame bought it back for you?
Dame bought me brand new camera. Naomi Campbell bought me camera.
But he was also saying that Biggs and somebody else.
What Biggs was that?
Yeah,
what was Choke No Joke? Nah, I'm gonna say Choke No Joke. I'm gonna tell you my problem with him. I don't care how you get your money.
Yeah.
That's your business. But ask permission. I had a son in Philly. I danced with a nigga a little bit. We danced. He ain't beat me. I beat him up. He put out without asking me. If it was a piece of shit, I could have sued him.
He had an axe?
No, we had a fight in Philly. Me and this girl, Rata. It was over some bullshit, but he swung. We danced. I ain't beat him up. He ain't beat me up. I'm not bragging. It was not that serious. I actually gonna have a drink with him when I see him. We been past that shit.
Yeah.
But you know, it seems to me like Johnny, you know, this actually about a police investigation, and I can't do that. Your motherfucker might have a candle around me. You think? Choke to me has no filter. These guys put them on. Johnny, you know how much dirt you got on people?
Oh no.
You know how much dirt I got on my friends?
Yeah.
And they got dirt on me? Yeah. I could release any day. So after I get the money, you Gary, you're a scumbag. It's not worth it. I'd rather be me than G real.
Yeah.
So to me, Choke, you need to pick your battles, man. Everything's not a battle, bro. Now, what when Choke that did? Did he fight or was he was not around?
Well, you want? I'll tell you what.
Let's tell the truth, John.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story, then you could judge it from there. We were on our way to an interview, and we went to a neighborhood that was where Napoleon's actual real monument is. So they never changed the streets from when Napoleon walked the street through the earth. So you can only, but I guess it was like one car lane. It wasn't a two-way lane. So the driver said, there's so much traffic, y'all could just get out here and you could walk to the radio station.
You walked to Pimp Land.
Well, yeah. So what wound up happening was when I got out the car, I saw something I never saw before. I saw a female who had her dress up and her underwear down. Wow. And it was like, whoa, because the sister definitely was from the motherland. And I was like, what the heck did I just see? So sure enough, when I took my camera out, she immediately turned her back, pulled up her underwear, pulled down her dress, and so did a few other white women that were doing it. Little did I know that we were in an area where prostitution was going on. So when Choke came out the car, he put the light on, and immediately all those women ran. So we still didn't know where we was. So we were walking to the building where the interview was, and one of the women approached us screaming in French, like, put the camera down, what are you doing? Pretty much that's what she was probably saying. And we didn't know, so Dame told Choke and myself, put the camera down. I think they don't want nobody photographing. This block is the street. This is the block right here, you know? So I won't say who did it, but when she turned her back, somebody made this kind of noise. And she turned around because everybody started laughing. All the French models, all of them started laughing at her because that fart noise, when she turned her back, made it look like she was the one who farted, you know? She was like, blah, 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 blah.
I already know who did that.
Yeah.
I already know who did that fucking ass. I know who did it.
But listen, when he made the fart noise.
I know no bit Dame crazy ass.
When he made the fart. But when he made the
Dame
fart.
crazy ass.
No, it wasn't him, but.
It was him?
No.
I know his. He do that all the time.
But what wound up happening was she turned around. She's like, oh, y'all gonna make a joke about me? Oh. Yo, son, cats were coming down fire escapes. Cats was coming from alleyways. Cats, we were surrounded by like Sierra Leone rebel refugees.
You went to work, Johnny?
Yo, I you know what it was? It was my first time in Europe, first time out of the country. I'm like, you know what? I just started grabbing my camera, wrapping it around my wrist. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. So I think Dame had a Celtic jacket, Celtic sneakers, and a baseball cap.
Oh God!
And he tried to explain to the pimp, whoever it was, yo, chill. So Choke had a bunch of wires wrapped around him, and the dude was trying to manhandle Choke, trying to take his camera from him. And Dame stepped in, and that's when Dame, two-pieced him, and he fell. He got back, but this dude got back up. He was a big dude, and it was like everybody started backing up. It was like one of those Michael Jackson videos and shit. And then next Dame did it again. Boom, boom, dropped the nigga. When he dropped him, he started to take off his jacket, and he turned his back. I learned a very, very valuable lesson. Even if you're winning a fight, never turn your back. Never turn your back on an opponent. Because when he turned around to take off his jacket, that same dude came up the third time from being knocked down twice. He had like a little stick this big. He went, whoosh, and when he went like this, the stick went from being this big to that big.
Oh,
and so he went to hit Dame in the back of the head. So I grabbed Dame's, I think I grabbed Dame's left arm and pulled him behind me. When I pulled him behind me, I could just see the stick just missing his head by inches. And when the arm came down, I took my camera and I whacked him. I'm like, I pray that this knocks
broke the
this nigga
camera?
out. The camera broke. That nigga looked at me like, what did you just do? I'm like, oh. I just started running because the dude was like, this nigga was like, he looked like Shaquille O'Neal chasing me. And that's when diesel jeans was the style. You remember the diesel jeans? Them shits was like starting a forest fire, trying to run with like cowboy boots and shit. And I just kept on praying, and as I could feel the wind, every time I could feel a wind, like the wind of, and I knew where the wind was coming from because that nigga was swinging for my head. And I thought of like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. Y'all remember like, whether it's Bugs Bunny or whoever, whenever they running from somebody, they just wrap around a pole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember I said, Father, in the name of Jesus, please, when I wrap around this pole, let this guy miss me, And sure enough, I saw a pole in Europe. Their poles are not like New York where it's like a tunnel horseshoe C. In Europe, it's a perfect circle. So I put on my forearm and I swung, and I could see I was like coming from behind him now.
Spinning around.
And through the grace of God, Dame was right there, and Dame was like, bomb, just unloading on him. But because he was a tall dude and now he had a stick, he was like 1 lump, 2 lump, 3 lump. Before you know it, Dame covered his head and dropped it, and the dude kept on beating him a whole
how y'all got out of
pack
it?
of wolves. As all those socialites, that models and all those bougie rich people from New York that used to roll with us, as they were running, only ones that stayed behind were the models. And I saw everybody that was there on the floor, and I'm like, you know what? I can't leave. So I just said, fuck it. You know what? At least this was a good trip. And I went back with the remaining pieces on my camera, and I started clocking niggas, not on their head. I was going for their face.
What's no joke at?
As I was clocking them in the face, right? I picked up Dame. I said, yo, Dame, we gotta get out of here. And then I saw Biggs. I picked up Biggs. I put him behind me.
What was Biggs
And
at?
I started swinging. The camera was in pieces now.
This story's too much for me. Hold on.
No, it was sharp. So I kept swinging.
Yo,
it.
Big. It's
I was
too
swinging.
big. You doing a lot of bullshit,
I
Johnny.
was swinging. Let me tell you what happened. I started swinging the camera, and it was sharp. At this point, it was sharp. As I was swinging the camera, they knew that the pieces of camera that were left could cut them. But there was so many of them, I know they was fucking with us. So I started to push Dame and Biggs, and they had sprayed us with mace and air and what do you call that? No, like when a fire extinguisher. They sprayed a fire extinguisher in everybody's face too. So as we were running through the streets, I saw a coffee shop where cats was drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, and I looked across the street and I saw another coffee shop. So I kicked the garbage can. And the niggas was coming. There was the whole gang. It was like a straight up street gang. I kicked the garbage can, and a Coca-Cola bottle came out, and a bicycle lock. So what I do? I took the bicycle lock, and I threw it at the coffee shop's glass window. It scattered. It just broke.
And give you a chance to get out.
Everybody got up and started screaming at us. Then I took the Coca-Cola bottle and I threw it all the way across the street, and it shattered, and all the pieces fell on people. They got up. French people do not fucking play. French people are serious. They don't play. Them niggas came at us. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. I looked back and it was like, so long as you get off our block, we good. So it worked. They wasn't gonna follow us into the industrial area where people actually have stores. So when we got back to the hotel, the Ritz-on-Thane, Dane was already, in the ambulance. They were already looking at his gash. I remember, I gotta go back for choke. So I asked Cardi B for his, you remember Cardi B? Cardi B, I asked Cardi B for his sweater, and I took the sweatshirt, I did it inside out because it smelled like the mace, and the paramedic said, I'm gonna go with you to look for your friend. And I'm like, yo, you got a gun? You got something? He goes, no, we fight with these. I'm like, what are you talking about? We fight with these. I'm like, so you know what? Me and him went right back. I went back, I saw the pieces of my camera on the floor. I saw the cats that were there were like laughing at me. And I'm like, and I went into a store and I asked, did you see a cameraman, And they pointed out the stairwell that led up to the roof, and that's how he got out. He went through the stairwell of a back to the roof, and then, so when I got back to the hotel, I was still shaking. I was like,
So Choke didn't throw no punches.
no, not at all.
Okay.
But at the end of the day,
Johnny, put a little bass in your voice.
huh?
Did Choke throw any punches?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's it. It's all right.
You know what?
I got your back. We're not gonna do that.
No, but
We're gonna justify my show. Again, did Choke, no joke, throw any punches?
well, no,
Did Choke, no joke, throw any punches?
not at all.
That's it. That's it.
But when I got back to the hotel, Andy and Tommy Hilfiger saw me in the lobby, and I had blood all over my shirt.
Johnny question you.
Tommy Hilfiger,
Yeah.
the designer?
So
And
Tommy and Andy Hilfiger, his brother Andy Hilfiger, they said, Johnny, come into the restaurant. And I told them what happened. I was still shaking. Andy requested 3 shots of Jack Daniels, and I didn't drink at the time. I said, yo, Jack,